Hi, wrestling fans. Welcome to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. And we got an exciting hour in store for you this week. You're going to see some great matches right here in just a few moments. First, let's bring in our NWA representative, Sandy Scott. Sandy?
Bob, nice to be back on your program.
Hey, there's a lot happening in our tag team tournament.
Oh, there sure is, and I have a special announcement to make a little later on.
All right, talking about announcements, Sandy, we've got our tag team tournament chairman, Eddie Graham, and Eddie's got several announcements about that, and let's hear those from Eddie Graham right now.
It's a pleasure to have with us again today the tournament director for the World Tag Team Tournament, Eddie Graham. Eddie, of course, a former president of the National Wrestling Alliance in the top 10 for over a decade as a professional wrestler, and I know that you must be viewing the final closing days of this tournament with a lot of anticipation.
Well, Gordon, that's so true. I'm excited about it, almost as if I was competing. You know, I used to try to enter every big tournament and everything I could when I was wrestling. It has been very, very exciting. Different responsibilities and all, but there's been some great competition, and of course, as you know, it's narrowing down now. There's still a tournament take place in Canada. There will be some great team emerging from that out of Canada, but right now the Briscoes, of course, are still in there. Of course, Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen, the Funk Brothers. So it's narrowing down to some of the absolute best competition in the world, and that's what it's all about, is to select a truly recognized world tag team champions. Oh, and I just want to thank Fred Ward for taking over as the active mat chairman the night when we had the tournament that my son was involved in. I wanted to avoid any conflict of interest, and I want to thank Fred for handling things that night. He did a great job. And of course, Mike and Steve were fortunate enough to emerge the winners in that, so they're right in there, and I have the highest hopes for him. And Gordon, it's really exciting. Competition is the name of the game in all sports, and we're certainly seeing it in professional wrestling now at its very best.
Certainly no question about this, and this marks the first time, too, I believe, in the history of the NWA that a tournament of this scope, of this magnitude, where it has been Osaka, Japan, you name it, it's been all over the world, the regionals.
Yes, it definitely has. There should be no excuses from anybody, any place in the world, because they've all been invited. Anybody with any renown whatsoever, they've had an opportunity to enter, and in a lot of cases, be eliminated.
Thank you so very much. Eddie Graham, tournament director for the World Tag Team Tournament. We're getting down to the semifinals. Those finals are coming up soon.
Well, and Sandy, you say you have some exciting news also about that tournament.
Yes, I talked to Mr. Graham late this afternoon, and he has informed us that there is a winner of the Western Regionals, and they took place in Hawaii, and the winners are Wahoo McDaniels and Don Morocco.
Oh, how about that? Wahoo. And I tell you, Wahoo's familiar to all the fans around the area.
Well, what teams they went through. And other teams that are in the East now that are still in it are Greg Gagne, Jim Brunzell, Angelo Mosca, Killer Khan, Jack and Jerry Briscoe, Adenis and Ventura, and Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen.
I tell you, still some great teams. So as that tournament is winding down, the action is going to continue to be very fast and furious right there.
Well, the final match will be held in a city yet to be announced. So
all right.
It's getting exciting.
Sandy here, Ivan Koloff.
Right, you know that Valiant, this American pig that's always bothering me. I want you to understand one thing, Valiant. If a car has hit you and you are lying in the street, dying, bleeding, and I was the only person in the world that could save you, I would not lift my little finger to help you. I would kick you right in the face. Yes, I don't like you, Valiant. I don't like what you've been doing. The interference. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to take my television down. This belongs to me. Get away with it.
Ben Alexander attacks Jimmy Valiant when Valiant gets into the ring. Koloff after him outside.
Valiant is really going to work on Ben Alexander.
Sandy, I tell you, Jimmy Valiant, he came in. He was ready for anybody and everybody. Koloff, here's Koloff now, getting into the ring. Koloff still with that big chain around his neck. Valiant floors him with that right hand. Koloff out of the ring. Sandy Scott goes over now to try to keep Koloff away. Watch Valiant. 1, 2, 3. Boy, and it only took him a matter of seconds. He didn't even work up a sweat. What an exciting man in and out of the ring is Jimmy Valiant.
And he wants Koloff right now.
We'll be back with more right after we take this time out. All right, fans, the bell, we're ready now for more action. Keith Larson in against Pretty Boy Carl Fergie.
Bob, for the fans just tuning in, if they missed that first part of the program, they missed Jimmy Valiant and Koloff.
Oh, I tell you, when you miss Jimmy Valiant, Sandy, you have really missed it. Fans, there's one you really don't want to miss seeing. As we say, he's such an exciting individual. And talking about exciting and excitement, Sandy, when I look down this list of teams that are still in our tag team tournament, the Briscoes, Ole Anderson, Stan Hansen, Greg Gagne and Jim Brunzell, and also I notice it's Angelo Mosca and Killer Khan.
A very, very tough team. They're all tough teams, or else they still wouldn't be in that tournament. And as I said earlier, Wahoo McDaniels and Don Morocco are the Western winners. Mosca, by the way, will be coming this way in a week or two.
All right, Angelo Mosca.
I can't get over the bitterness between Valiant and Koloff.
No. Koloff, Sandy, when before Valiant came in, Koloff was really ranting and raving about him, and all of a sudden, when Jimmy Valiant bursts onto the scene, Koloff looks like he wants to get out of the way.
Well,
he wants to get into a little safe territory somewhere, and I think that's very wise on Koloff's part.
When these two guys get into a match, Bob, anything can happen.
Larson now with the wrist, Fergie down on his knees, draws back that right hand.
And Koloff has a little more to lose with that TV title.
You're right, he certainly does. The TV champion, Ivan Koloff. Fans, while you're watching the match in the ring, let's remind you that a little later on you're going to be seeing right here in action Jack Briscoe. We're going to see Ivan Koloff in a match right here a little later also, Sandy. Then, as Larson with a hip toss throws Fergie halfway across the ring with a good arm drag. Also, we're going to see one of the wildest men you'll ever see anywhere in a ring in Ninja. Ninja will be here, along with Jim Nelson and Don Kernodle, the privates of Sergeant Slaughter in a tag team match. So, boy, we got a lot to send your way during this hour. And as I say, Jack Briscoe is going to be right here, too.
Oh, boy.
Fergie picks Larson high to the air. A tremendous power slam. Well, Sandy, he caught that knee right into the midsection hard coming off of the ropes.
He sure did. You know, looking at Valiant and Koloff, I think Koloff would have to think twice about getting in there with Valiant. You know, that TV title is up 15 minutes of the match.
Any match, 15, that's right. Yeah. First 15 minutes. And I tell you, as quickly as Jimmy Valiant goes after an opponent and wraps him up that quick, I tell you, 15 minutes can be like an eternity for Koloff.
That's true.
Boy, Jimmy Valiant gets in that ring, and it's business right now and business at hand as he really goes at it. Fergie now with a chin. Plenty of pressure to it. Larson's trying to get to his feet and get that arm. Into the ropes, what kind of a break are we going to get? Fergie with a hair rolls Larson down and into the ropes. He's going to maul him while he's got him on the ropes and in the corner. Wow. Tremendous shoulder right into the midsection. No, count of two, and Larson kicks out.
This Larson's a very strong boy. He's come a long way since he first started. He's only been wrestling about a year and a half.
Again, Larson with that arm and that wrist. And Fergie just about to go down, reaches back and gets the hair.
Big Angelo Mosca will be coming in weeks to come.
Mosca, Sandy, is truly one of the rough, tough, big, rough men in wrestling.
He sure is.
Hard right hand there by Larson, driving Fergie back toward the rope. Speaking of tough big men, when you look at that list again about our tag team tournament, and as we mentioned before, the name of Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen still right there, and I don't know whether it's poetic justice or not, but Ole Anderson has said all along that they should not have been stripped of those tag team belts, that he and Gene should have held them, that they should have kept them. Sandy, of course, you being a representative of the NWA, and the NWA brought that about, and that's what brought the tournament about.
Well, he's very bitter, and he's got Stan bitter too, and they're going out and they're just whipping everything that they go up against. But the two teams that come down to the final, Bob, wherever they hold that match, boy, I'm going to be there.
Oh man, isn't that something? Here is Fergie off of the rope, high in the air with a knee. As Larson is flat out on the mat at the center of the ring, he's got the leg hooked. 1, 2, 3, and he's not going to be able to kick out of that one. Pretty boy Carl Fergie flooring Larson. As Larson charged into that corner, he hit that turnbuckle. Right out in the center of the ring, flat on the mat, high to the air now with a knee. Watch in slow motion as he got the full force and weight of his body behind that knee. It's all over now at this point. 1, 2, 3, and there you have the winner, Pretty boy Carl Fergie. Sergeant Slaughter, right here, Sergeant Slaughter.
Right. You know, month after month since I've been here, everybody's been coming out and challenging Sergeant Slaughter. And I've met all the challenges, and I must say that I beat them all. In fact, I run most of them out of town. But now I'm out here to challenge. I'm out here to put my belt up, the U.S. Heavyweight Championship, against Jack Briscoe, or Wahoo McDaniels if he ever gets back to town, or anybody that I choose to come out here and challenge me. I'll accept the challenge. I'm getting sick and tired of everybody saying that I don't defend this belt. And there's another fellow coming in by the name of Don Morocco, which I heard he's a great wrestler. I'll challenge him. I'll challenge them all. But also, we have someone on our side coming in by the name of Angelo King Kong Mosca. That's right, he'll be here shortly, and he's going to help me get rid of all of these wrestlers.
All right, fans, that's it from Sergeant Slaughter. We'll be back. We'll have more right after we take time out for this message. Fans. Jack Briscoe against Bill White. Sandy, what a match this should be. Former world champion Jack Briscoe in here against big, rough, tough, rugged Bill White. Should be a good match.
It sure should, and I was listening to the sergeant talking there, and he's going to get rid of all these guys. Well, here's one guy in the ring. He's going to have his hands full.
You're right there. And talking about Jack Briscoe, he and his brother Jerry, they're still one of the teams that are in the tag team tournament, one of the Eastern teams.
They sure are.
What a combination they are. And I tell you, I think they got to be listed right up there among all of the favorites anywhere for that tag team tournament. This brother combination, the Briscoes. What a great athlete he is, Sandy.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic wrestler. He conditioned. He's just great in every way. Offense, defense.
Has a tremendous amount of wrestling knowledge to go along with that athletic ability of his, which really makes him a tough opponent in the ring. White slams him hard to the turnbuckle, right on that head, and again to the turnbuckle.
You know, if I was the sergeant, I'd have to go back and think twice about what I just said, because when you start talking about getting rid of guys like Briscoe and Wahoo and Valiant, boy, you're really biting off a chunk.
He said he was ready to get rid of all of them. I mean, was going to get rid of all of them. And not only that, let's bring up the fact that he said that coming in to assist him probably, or at least to assist him in that, was King Kong, Angelo Mosca. That Mosca will soon be here.
And another top-notch wrestler coming in is Killer Khan.
Briscoe with his back to the ropes. Watch out, White with the right hand. He's going to hold him into the ropes if he can, or as long as he can anyway. And Briscoe's going to have to fight his way off.
Well, it's a hard position to fight off those ropes. Once you got a fella on you, 200, 250 pounds, laying on you and laying it in on you there, it's hard to fight off the ropes. But Jack, he's just tremendous in every way.
Takedown, knee drop now by Briscoe, and attempted a pin, and White's going to kick out at 2. Remember, fans, you're going to see a little later right here Ivan Koloff in action. Ninja. And Jim Nelson and Don Knodel in a tag team match. The privates of Sergeant Slaughter. And I'm sure Slaughter's going to be around during that match, Sandy. He always is.
Sure he is. You know, Jack's in there with a man that can upset you at any time with Bill White.
There's White slammed to the turnbuckle, and now Briscoe all the way across the ring slams him into the corner. He had a full head of steam across that ring, into the ropes and off. Drop kick. Tremendous drop kick there from Jack Briscoe. He's going to set him up for the figure 4.
He's got it.
And he's got it locked in. Jack Briscoe with a figure 4, and White says yes. Well, you just can't take the pain of that figure 4, Sandy.
All right, get your knee in your ankle.
Without a partner, if you can't get to the ropes, there's no way. And right there, it's all over. Watch it in slow motion, Sandy.
He caught him with that drop kick right on the jaw. Now he's going in for the figure 4. He's got it locked in there. Your winner, Jack Briscoe.
Friends, as we meet some of the exciting NWA wrestlers, let's call in a member of the championship team, Private Nelson.
That's right. Private Knodel and myself are the new Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions, thanks to Sergeant Slaughter. You know, when I started wrestling, I always wanted to be a champion. I always wanted to be a winner and make a lot of money. And I heard of Sergeant Slaughter. And I went to him and I said, Sergeant Slaughter, I want to be a champion. I want to be a winner. He says, are you willing to pay the price? Then come on over to my camp. I'll make you a winner. Now you're going to have to do a lot of things. You're going to have to get in shape for one. You're going to have to have discipline. So that's exactly what I've done. I've done my best, and he's made me a champion. Now Private Knodel and myself are going to be defending these belts. If we can find someone good enough to take us on for these belts. Now, Sergeant Slaughter says, you keep these belts at all costs. I want you to hurt people. I want you to do anything you have to win. It doesn't matter how you win, it's if you win. Now, he has us running every day. 0500, we get up, full backpack, and we run 15 miles every day. We do push-ups till we can't move. My fingers ache sometimes. I have to take my fingers to go into the ring now. Well, Sergeant Slaughter stands on them when I'm doing push-ups. But I've been willing to pay the price. And that's why Private Knodel and myself have won these belts. And we're going to do anything to keep these belts. We also want a chance at these World Tag Team Championships. And when we get a chance, we're going to do anything we can to win these belts because it means everything. To be a world champion means you are the best in the world. Not just in Canada or the United States or Japan. You are the very best in the world, and that's our goal. Sergeant Slaughter says, I want you to be number one, and you will be number one. Just follow me, and you'll be the greatest. And that's exactly what Private Knodel and myself intend to do.
All right, fans, before we get to the ring right here,
I gotta say something about this. Jimmy Valiant sticking his nose in a lot of things, and we're gonna get it straight. The Anderson brothers would have put him out of wrestling for good. And there's a lot of wrestlers are gonna get even with Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, right on.
It makes me sick to see a guy like that walking around. They got Law and Order. Here he is, Law and Order man, sitting over here, and let Mr. Valiant do anything he wants to get away with. I tell you, Valiant, if you'd step in my face or Gene's face, you're going to get it taken right off. That's not a doggone promise. That's not a threat. I'll just make it for sure happen if he ever puts his face around us. I'm telling you, Valiant, you better watch out. Your days are numbered.
That's right. All right, fans, that's it from the Andersons. Telling Jimmy Valiant there that his days are numbered. What about that?
Well, I'll tell you, they got a lot of mad people around here today.
They really have, Sandy. And talking about mad ones at the bell, here's the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. Koloff, our NWA TV champion, and as you mentioned earlier, that championship belt is at stake the first 15 minutes of any match. And Koloff in against young Tony Anthony. He is like a bear. He's a wild man in that ring, is this Koloff.
Well, he knows his wrestling, but he's got one thing in mind right now. I believe it would be Jimmy Valiant.
In mind.
That's right.
Looks like not only Koloff, but I was a little bit surprised now. It looks like Valiant has really got the Andersons upset. Here comes Gene and here come Ole out. And they're ranting and raving also about Valiant. And if he sticks his nose in their business, they say they're going to take it right off. So I think Valiant has got a lot of people upset and a lot of people wondering.
Well, he sure has. And you know, whenever the Andersons say something, they back it up.
Going in after Koloff, walked right into that foot as Koloff got a hard kick right into the midsection, slams him hard now to that corner in that turnbuckle. And when Koloff gets it going his way, he is going to really work you over, and that's what he's doing right now.
Tremendous elbow caught Tony Anthony coming off that rope.
Halfway across the ring, Koloff now right back on the attack. He's not going to let up. High into the air with that back flip.
He's keeping Anthony confused.
And he just clawed and ripped him across the back.
He's working on that back now, Bob.
Across that top rope, right on his throat. Ivan Koloff really mauling young Tony Anthony. All the time, of course, thinking about Jimmy Valiant. He knows, and all the fans know, that Koloff's not going to have it that way with Jimmy Valiant. No way. The boogeyman is ready. The boogeyman is ready for it.
I think Koloff is ready, too. It all depends now what... he's got a Russian bear hug on him.
Anthony up in the air in that bear hug. Elbow. Well, that broke it, but I tell you, with that tremendous pressure around those ribs and that rib cage, he could hardly get any air at all. Koloff goes with the elbow drop, and Anthony just managed to get out from under it. Another drop kick. Koloff almost went under the rope. He got a little too anxious, Sandy, as he went in after him in that corner. Koloff with that foot again into the midsection, stopped him right dead in his tracks.
Yeah, let her come on. Let's go in the corner. 1, 2. Yeah, fist open.
Again out of the midsection. Koloff with the foot. Really beginning to wear him down right now, Sandy.
Well, you know, he has the upper hand.
Oh, dropped right back. Tony Anthony now with that stretch on Koloff. Koloff reaches down, hooks the leg. Very fortunate that he was able to get out of that.
Well, I've been watching Koloff ever since he come into the ring, and he is mad.
Out of the ring, one of the favorite moves right here, Koloff. Watch closely, fans. Off of that top rope, right into the back of the neck, drives his head and face into the mat with all of his weight behind him. No way Anthony will get up. Once Koloff gets you in a position for that move, as he spins around the ring now and hollers for Jimmy Valiant, Anthony just about out over in the corner. Koloff goes out of the ring on that top rope, gets that knee right into the back of the neck and the back of the head, and in slow motion you see the full force of it as he drives Anthony hard down to the mat. It's all over at that point. There you have the winner, the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. We'll be back with more action right after we take this time out. right now, Blackjack Mulligan Jr. Blackjack, I know you heard Sergeant Slaughter talking about the guys coming. Mosca, they did, you know, he keeps bringing in these big guys.
Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of people coming in here. I tell you, Slaughter may have Mosca coming in for him, but I tell you, Wahoo is making his comeback, and a big guy named Don Morocco that I know very, very well from way back, but our differences have been settled. But I tell you, Slaughter comes out here making all these challenges, and yet he has yet to meet all those challenges. And Slaughter, if you want to keep making these open challenges to everybody, why don't you just step in the ring and take one of them up?
Right you are, Blackjack Mulligan Jr. Jack Briscoe. Jack, talking about that tag team tournament, and we're talking about the great list of names that are still on there, and in the East, you and Jerry are right in that list.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of top teams around the world emerging. You know, it's coming down to the final few, and a lot of great teams, and Jerry and I are anticipating a great tournament, and we're anticipating victory and be world champions. But I also heard Sergeant Slaughter out here challenging everyone who wanted to wrestle him for his U.S. belt. That is the very reason I'm here, Sergeant Slaughter, to take that belt from you. I want that belt. I want to be United States champion again. I want to be Mid-Atlantic champion. I want to be world champion again. So, Sergeant Slaughter, I'll accept your challenge anytime and any place you want it.
All right, Jack.
Baby, you got that right, brother. People in the streets listening to Boogeyman. We got Ivan Koloff when we want him. He's scared to death. He's shaking in his boots. He's running. He's hiding. He's peeping, and he's flying, brother. Take a man, and he's swinging in the dark. He's Pearl Harbor. He's sneak attacking. He's scared, brother. We got him. I got his number. I know where he's at. I got him figured out. He's going down, baby. And it won't be long, Koloff. It won't be long. That title's mine. The Boogeyman and the people. I feel good, baby.
All right, fans, we're about ready now in the ring. More action. Koloff into the ring, and there's Valiant. Valiant caught him coming in. There was Gene Anderson. Valiant throws him. Ninja. That was Ninja who just blew something all over Jimmy Valiant, Sandy Scott. Valiant down. Koloff kicking him. Here's Gene Anderson kicking him. Here comes Mulligan Jr. Here comes Jake Roberts. Anderson goes out. Koloff goes out. And Valentine is covered in something green. Green all over him from Ninja. And it's in his eyes, of course. As Valiant now being helped out of the studio, and he's in pain. Johnny Weaver right here, Ray Stevens right here.
Well, we just saw that back back on the monitor. And I wouldn't doubt it that Ivan Koloff didn't have them guys put up to that.
Yeah, he must have. Ray, and he was in some pain there with that in his eyes, too. All right, we'll be back. We'll have more action, fans, right after we take this time out. All right, fans, Ray Stevens, John Weaver. Ray, what happened to Jimmy Valiant up there is just unbelievable.
Well, I tell you what, it definitely looks like it's a conspiracy that Ivan Koloff has got Gene Anderson and the Assassin Ninja to do this to the man. You know, it's a dirty thing, a rotten trick to do, but it definitely looks like a conspiracy, doesn't it, John? And right now,
you know, Bob, for a long time now, Jimmy Valiant's been breathing right down Koloff's neck, and I wouldn't be surprised if Koloff didn't have Gene Anderson and Ninja and have it set up to do something to Jimmy Valiant, because he's been getting so close to winning that TV title from Koloff, and Koloff had to get desperate and do something. He barely hanging on to it several times. It's too bad. We just had it happen right here and seen in front of all the fans and in their homes. But Crockett's are always up for this, and we got a standby match in the ring, Tim Horner and a fine wrestler, Rusty Roberts.
All right, fans, we got that match up there, as Johnny says. Ray, you and Johnny stay right here with us, and let's go up to the ring for the action at the bell.
You know, Bob, this Tim Horner is a fine young athlete out of Morristown, Tennessee. He's up against a newcomer here with Rusty Roberts, and we should still see an exciting match for this standby match, which we always have ready in case of something like this happens.
We were gonna have a match with Ninja till it broke loose right there. And
well, I don't think once that happened. You know, there's a lot of mad people around here. A lot of us are mad at things like this that happened to Flair and happened to Steamboat and several others. Jake Roberts got 3 teams here not too long ago. And I don't think now that this has happened that we'll see any face of Ninja around here anymore, or Koloff, at least in this hour.
Ray, what do you think that was that Ninja blew all over Valiant?
Well, I don't have any idea, but we got word just a minute ago that Jimmy Valiant couldn't see, and they're going to take him and get some medical attention to his eyes. You know, the tempers are really flaring around here. Normally, things are a little quieter than this, but there's a lot of people mad at each other, and, brother, it's all kind of excitement. Normally, they'd hold it down, Bob, because they're afraid of fines and suspensions, but they're really getting wild here tonight.
Sure are that.
Well, there's a lot of stake. There's a lot of prestigious belts. There's tournaments that you win $25,000 in one night, and that'll make a lot of guys strip and slap.
You're talking about a tremendous amount of money there, Ray, and as Johnny says, when you're talking about $25,000 just in the winners in the individual cities, that's not even the final, and the amount of money that the eventual champions are going to win. Now, I tell you, that's going to bring everybody out, and it's going to bring the worst out in everybody.
You bet it is. People like Ivan Koloff, Ole Anderson, Stan Hansen, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to reach down to the lowest trick they can find to win this thing, eliminate anybody any way they can eliminate them.
Well, Mr. Ninja's going to have to pay a price for what he's done. I know Valiant, if there's an ounce of breath left in his body, he's going to be back, and he's going to be pretty mad at Ninja. And if there was a conspiracy between Koloff and Ninja to get this done, then Koloff's going to be in just as much hot water as he always was.
Koloff already was in plenty of hot water with Valiant, and this is going to go fuel right on that fire.
Neck for that TV title.
You know, getting back here to the standby match, this young Tim Horner has been looking excellent in this match. He's just an excellent young wrestler.
Taking quite a few blows there from Rusty Roberts.
And he fires right back on him. He doesn't let him buffalo way over him.
He's giving up a little weight, but he's sure handling himself very well.
Out of the air, let's see if he's going to cover him. Got him covered, couldn't hold him right there.
He didn't hook the leg right there, Bob.
Reverse on him. He may have him pinned. Roberts not going to be able to get out of that one. Young Tim Horner, that's a good and very impressive win for him, Ray.
It was a very good win for him. I'm sure he's real happy with it.
Here we see it again, right here
Watch
in
it in slow motion, John.
See the maneuver he makes here. Scissors his leg, pulls the man over. Scissors both shoulders, a 3 count there. Tim Horner, the winner.
Fans, I'd like to introduce one of the exciting new NWA wrestlers, a young man with a great amateur background. And Mike Rotunda, as I introduce you, I know that you're aware that you are in company now with some of the great names in wrestling.
Oh, yes, there are some great names in this area for pro wrestling, bar none to the world. There's Piper, Mosca, Ninja, Koloff. They have some outstanding talent here. And I'm just preparing myself now. I've been working with my friends, that tall, lanky guy, Jake the Snake Roberts, for the big knee lift. Jack Briscoe's been helping me. Pork Chop Cash. I met a man down here from New York City, the Boogie Woogie Man. I'm also from New York, so he took me under his wing and helped me out a lot. And I'm really looking forward to having the opportunity to wrestle these guys. You take Piper. A lot of people don't like Piper, but the man can wrestle. He can move. He's got agility, strength. Myself, I look at the man and I don't like his style of wrestling, but I respect him. And this is what I work for. This is what I train hard for, the chance to wrestle the best. And that's what I'm going for, because I also want to be the best. So I'm going to work hard, I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm going to see what happens down the line. And hopefully I'll get the chance to wrestle the best, because that's what I'm looking for. And hopefully it'll be in Ann Arbor where I can show these people what I can do.
Well, you know, Mike, they kid you a little bit about looking like a famous champion.
Oh, well, hopefully it'll rub off, you know, and it'll work for me in the best way.
Well, you know, he overcome quite a bit of difficulties in making that movie and everything. Mike, you're in fast company, you're in tough company, but I think you're prepared to meet him.
I hope so. I've been training hard, and I'm really excited to be down here in the Mid-Atlantic. And I love the sun and the people, and I love every town that we go to. It's just really exciting to be wrestling, and hopefully I can just get on my way and start working my way to the top to be the best.
Mike, I certainly think you will, and I want to say right now, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, friends, Jim Nelson, Don Kernodle, the privates at Sergeant Slaughter against young Terry Taylor and Kelly Kiniski. What a match. You've got four really exciting young men against each other right here.
I'll tell you what, the tempers are flaring already even before they started this match.
Well,
Kernodle and Nelson there got right after him, and Kiniski and Taylor reciprocated before they even started.
That's right. Terry Taylor in here against Don Kernodle, and this Terry Taylor blocked that right hand.
Oh, the action's going to be fast and furious.
Boy, I tell you, Taylor's not ready to take anything from him. He's going to really dish it back to him.
Well, it looks like that Taylor and Kiniski both are geared up. They got their blood flowing pretty fast here.
Well, there's about four evenly matched individuals in there right now. Of course, you got the rough style that Kernodle and Nelson have adopted since they've been under Slaughter's tutelage, and then you've got the scientific and good style of Terry and Kelly Kiniski, and Taylor's not going to let none of them run over him.
You know, this Kelly Kiniski comes from a wrestling family, wrestling background. His father is former world's heavyweight champion, so he's been in wrestling all of his life.
That's
too.
right, Ray. You're right.
He's not going to be any easy pushover for anybody.
There's Kiniski with a drop kick.
And he's got a lateral press right here. He only got one. Nelson was
John, you were talking about the Kernodle and Nelson being proteges of Sergeant Slaughter, and I tell you, they have really, really come on since the Slaughter has taken them under his
I guess
wing.
they have. They won one of the tournaments, $25,000.
They're just like different individuals in that ring, and that just shows you what a man like Slaughter, what impact he can have on two young men like this.
Oh, absolutely, and he definitely made a big impact on him, and he's got him motivated. Something tremendous. They are rough, they are mean, and both of them are very capable of hurting you. Two big, strong young men. Very capable wrestlers.
That almost took his head off. Looked like a double chop right there by Kernodle.
There's a neck breaker.
Kernodle's after him hard. You know, it's hard to contend with the three of these Sergeant Slaughter and these two privates, because if one or the other of them comes around the ring, it definitely takes your mind off the match, just like Pete Anderson does.
Boy, Kernodle and Terry Taylor really got into it there. We got Nelson back in the ring here.
That's right, and John, they had him in the corner. They had Taylor over in their corner, double team for a moment. But Taylor can't even get his breath. They're just swarming all over him.
Oh, it looks like they're
hey,
wearing
we could
him
have
down.
a win right here.
Ooh. He managed just to kick out. Quick count of two. And
nice escape
now let's see if
by
he can
Terry.
make a tag. He needs to make a tag right here to Kiniski.
Oh, this boy's in real good condition. He knows what he's doing in there.
Taylor slammed in the turnbuckle, and again now they're going to double team him in that corner.
I just got word a minute ago that they definitely took Valiant to the hospital to have his eyes checked. I have no idea what that ninja spit in his eyes, but it's a shame that they would get together, that Ivan Koloff would stoop that low to have somebody blow something in his eyes and then come up behind the man when he's blind and start beating on him viciously like Ivan Koloff did.
Well, we have Taylor caught in a reverse chin lock right here.
Now Terry Taylor's going to make the tag. Here comes Kelly Kiniski back.
He's fired up, Bob, and the crowd's fired up with him.
Boy, I tell you, this has been some match.
That's it, and look at that, would you? This match has been back and forth.
Tremendous amount of action in this match, John. They have really gone at it.
Didn't quite connect with the elbow.
And Kiniski runs headlong into the knee.
Boy, the tide of battle is changing back and forth fast.
Kernodle now reached back like his back was hurting, managed to get over for the tag. Kiniski going to be double teamed.
Yes, he is. You notice Kernodle, when he was headed towards that corner, definitely had a handful of hair. It was a good test of strength. Kiniski and Nelson both very strong.
And they're going to hold him back in the corner for the tag. Kiniski can't get over for the tag.
A little too fast. He tripped up Kiniski. Now he makes the tag.
John, what do you think of this conspiracy that's going on with Koloff and Gene Anderson and this ninja?
Well, if there is one, I think they bit off more than they can chew, because it's not only going to irritate Jimmy Valiant, it's made a lot of the rest of us mad.
I was going to say, John, don't you think that Jimmy Valiant is going to have some friends coming to his rescue?
Well, he certainly is. He's a well-liked individual, not only by the fans, but by a lot of the wrestlers. And when you see one of your cohorts go down like that, it doesn't set too well with you.
Kiniski hit from behind with the elbow off of the ropes with Kenoda thumb right into the windpipe.
Kenoda seems to be have a real hatred for Terry Taylor.
This is Nelson back in after the tag, trying to hold Kiniski in his corner.
Fine move and escape by Kiniski right there. A near fall, but Nelson comes out with a front face lock. Iron again, escape by Kiniski.
Well, he did make the tag, and that time he really needed one.
Good backdrop there by Terry Taylor.
Flying elbow, a lateral press right here.
Here comes Kenoda.
He made the save. Now
He almost had him, yeah. Johnny, he would have been pinned.
Oh, got off.
Tempers are flaring again here, Bob. Look at this.
There goes Nelson out of the ring.
Look at this.
Taylor.
Kenoda now, and Taylor is going at it.
They are really going at it. They're scratching eyes and pulling hair.
And the referee says ring the bell. That's already it.
I heard Kernittle make the statement that he was going to get Taylor just a little bit earlier, and it looks like he's really trying to.
Well, Ray, it sure looked like that's exactly what they were trying to do. And I tell you, they can't get them apart.
Nelson trying to get in the ring. Kiniski keeping him out of there. Look at Kernittle. They're running at him like two fighting dogs.
And you can't get them apart. Nelson has to drag Kernittle out of the ring, and here's Kiniski now trying to hold back Taylor.
Well, I'll tell you, the tempers are really flaring here tonight. This is something.
You know, between the thing that happened with Valiant earlier and now this, it doesn't normally usually get out of hand like this here on the program, but every once in a while things like this happen. We can't know nothing about it, but what happened with Valiant, what happened right here, it gets out of hand. And Sandy Scott, the representative of NWA, it's getting pretty wild.
John, you try to keep peace and law, and sometimes I've never seen anything like this here with these guys just busting loose. So sometimes it's best to let it go and get to a head. You know, I'm just walking in here, and I just hear Private Canuto yelling at Taylor there. What happened to Valiant should happen to you.
It's like they want to hurt them and put them out, Sandy. Like they want to get rid of them and get rid of them permanently.
Oh, sure, I believe it with the Valiant, the Koloff. Here you got Taylor, and he's screaming at him.
Yeah. All right, right here at Jake Roberts. Jake.
Things have got kind of hot and heavy today. It's not usually like this. The thing with Valiant's what really got me, folks. I mean, that stuff in his eyes, they had to get him somewhere to get that cleaned up, because he's just all messed up. I hope the guy's going to be all right.
Bob, here's the tape again with Valiant right here.
All right.
But what happened with Valiant? You see him in there with three different people.
Yeah.
Jake, right here.
Let's see what Ninja did do.
Right here.
It all happened so fast earlier, and there it is. He blew some green something right out all over. It hit him right in the face, right in the. It was full in the face,
right in the eye.
and he goes right down at that point.
See what kind of wrestler Koloff is? Now he's on top of him right there. That's a little bit too much, I think. I think the NWA and possibly Sandy can do things, something about things like this. There's no need for it.
Sandy, speaking of that, there you are, and the fans saw it, and you saw it. This, I think, is the first time any of us have had a chance to get a look at that again, and particularly in slow motion. And you got a good look at just what Ninja did.
Well, we rushed Valiant to the hospital to get his eyes checked. And
Koloff right here is rubbing it in his eyes.
Oh, he sure is, and we're going to look into it.
Sandy, you know the sad part about this, and Bob, and Jimmy Valiant, he's not scared of anything. He's proved that here before. You've seen him jump right into a hornet's nest here with Koloff, the Andersons, and everybody. So he's not scared. It's a shame.
Well, not only that, but when you don't have eyes, Ray, and Sandy, when your eyes are gone, boy, you're at almost anybody's mercy then.
You're done, aren't you, Jake, when you can't see?
It's a shame, when it comes to putting people out like that, with the eyes, it's just too much. There's got to be a line drawn somewhere, because obviously a man's got to have his eyes. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm sick about it. I don't know.
Well, he's going to have his eyes checked right here, David Crockett.
We were talking about Valiant. We've got Gene Anderson back there. I think he has a few words he'd like to say to us. Let me go get Gene.
All right, let's get Gene Anderson out here, and maybe we can get it right from the horse's mouth from Gene Anderson just what happened and why and how it all came about. Because it must have been some conspiracy, Gene, with Ninja and you and with Valiant.
I told you people that Valiant's going to give it. You know what Ole and I would have done for a long time. We would have put wrestling off for good. And Valiant is the one that we're going to get even. So Ivan and I, and Ninja and I, Ole, we got together to get him. Right there. We planned on Valiant to put him out of wrestling for good. And Valiant, if you want any more of us, we're ready for you. I don't care what we want. We're going to put you out for good. Right, Ivan Koloff? I want to say, Valiant, this is only the beginning. All the things you have tried to do to Koloff, it has all come to an end. I hope you are blind. I hope you will never see again in your life, because this is what you deserve. I told you that I would get rid of you, and now it has happened. All over for you, Boogeyman. Back to New York City.
All right, fans, there you have it. What a while when it's been. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week, and until then, so long for now.